What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and we know that you are excited. After a long, just the longest offseason in the world, it is finally time for the Dallas Cowboys to play a football game. There was a large point of the offseason where we didn't have any sports at all, really, obviously. Basketball's come back, golf, soccer, all sorts of other things, baseball, and they've kind of helped us bide our time in different ways. There's no denying it. This has been the strangest offseason any of us have ever experienced, any of us have ever lived through. But the football season that we've been looking forward to is technically taking place when it's supposed to. Things are happening as they were previously scheduled by the NFL, but they're obviously happening in a very different and a very weird and a very unique set of circumstances as the entire world continues to battle COVID-19. We know that the Dallas Cowboys will take on the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday night. That's right, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya, they'll all be around as the Cowboys get ready to play the first game in the history of the building and get the first dub in the history of the building. This is a big game for the Cowboys. The last time they headed out to Los Angeles was, of course, for the playoff game. In 2018, the division round, Cowboys went to LA, were competitive, were in the game until ultimately Jared Goff scampered for a first down and dashed their hopes. And ultimately, 1 year later, the team would see a massive rebuild, and that's what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting to see what this rebuild looks like, been waiting to see what Mike McCarthy's Cowboys look like. Now let's talk about what they could look like on the field on Sunday. As far as injuries are concerned, Chidobe Awuzie and Amari Cooper look like they're going to be able to give it a go on Sunday. This is strange talking about injury reports. Feels good, right? And we obviously hope that every player is all right, but Chido and Amari Cooper both look like they're going to be able to go. This is big for the Cowboys. We saw on the team's unofficial depth chart that they released earlier in the week that Trayvon Diggs, rookie Trayvon Diggs, who did switch jersey numbers from 31 to 27, by the way, we saw that Anthony Brown and Trayvon Diggs were listed as the unofficial starting cornerbacks for the Dallas Cowboys. We will see, of course, what ultimately happens if Cheeto is a starter. These things are really just kind of loose terms. Starter is who goes out for the first play of the game. We'll see who ultimately plays the most. We will track the snap counts, of course, for you, as we always do all season long at bloggingtheboys.com. But Trayvon Diggs is getting a lot of hype, all right? Now, Aqib Talib, veteran NFL cornerback, he was on The Herd on Thursday, and he was talking about Trayvon Diggs working out at his gym, and he said, look, this guy, Trayvon Diggs, he is going to be a star in this league. And you hear that, and it's exciting, but we don't know exactly how much Trayvon Diggs is going to play on Sunday against Los Angeles. As far as cornerbacks are concerned, I do think it will be Cheeto. I do think it will be Anthony Brown. I think Trayvon gets in the mix, but Jordan Lewis really doesn't look like he's going to be able to give it a go. Of course, anything is possible. Stephen Jones did mention earlier in the week on 105.3 The Fan that the Cowboys did not put either Jordan Lewis or Luke Gifford, linebacker Luke Gifford, on injured reserve. He said it might be 2 weeks. Now, as a result of the COVID-19 protocols that the NFL is dealing with this season, there are an unlimited number of players that you can bring back off of injured reserve, the old IR boomerang. So while that is an interesting detail, it also must be said that any player that is put on injured reserve must be there for at least 3 weeks. So if the Cowboys do feel, hypothetically, that Jordan Lewis and or Luke Gifford could return in 2 weeks, then it obviously doesn't make any sense for them to put them on injured reserve, as they would be losing an extra week as well. So we'll see what ultimately happens there, but looks like Cheeto's going to be good. Looks like Amari Cooper's going to be good. Luke Gifford is limited. We know that Jordan Lewis not practicing. That makes things shaky. I do want to talk about Amari Cooper because this has been a really interesting situation. We've heard Mike McCarthy kind of dance around the Amari issue and not really talk about any specifics with him as far as what injury he's been dealing with. We know that really for about a year now, the Cowboys have been kind of shy about committing to Amari Cooper and what his exact problem is. His injury on the injury report is listed as a hamstring injury. That is still a little bit vague, but it seems like Amari Cooper will be able to run and run all right in Los Angeles. Maybe he'll draw Jalen Ramsey. We will see the newly paid Jalen Ramsey, by the way. Jalen, speaking of, is going to be a problem for the Cowboys. If I had to isolate 2 players on the Rams that are going to be difficult for the Cowboys to stop, number 1 is Jalen Ramsey. In fact, number 1 is Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, the best interior defender in the NFL, probably the best defender as a whole in the NFL, is going to be a tough matchup for the Cowboys. You obviously think, or would think, that Zach Martin, Joe Looney, and Connor Williams are going to do what they can to stop him, but The reality is he's going to win. Dak Prescott's going to have to be on the move. He's going to have to make throws on the run. Thankfully, he's very good at that, but when he does, he's going to have to watch out for number 20. The Rams offer two, again, of the best defensive players in the NFL, so things are not exactly going to be easy for the Cowboys as they look to try to score a whole lot of points with their big-time offense. And as far as the offense is concerned for the Cowboys, that's where my player to watch is. I mean, it goes without saying, but Dak Prescott really is the key to the Cowboys. We've seen so much talk about Dak over the course of this offseason, the franchise tag, whether he was going to get his new deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not getting a deal at the deadline. Dak has been the story of the Cowboys in many ways. Yes, Amari Cooper got an extension. Yes, Blake Jarwin got extended. Yes, the Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb, but all of those things ultimately point back to Dak Prescott. I do believe that Dak is going to have an incredible game against the Rams. I think he's going to really show up on the bright stage. This is probably going to be one of the biggest rated games on Sunday Night Football that NBC has ever seen, and I think that the Cowboys are going to get this thing done. If you look at all of the odds makers, the top odds makers at least, DraftKings, FanDuel, any of those sports books, they all have the Cowboys as about 2.5-point favorites. Not only do I think the Cowboys win, I think the Cowboys cover. If you're into that sort of thing, I think if you've got any fantasy players on the Dallas Cowboys, you probably want to start them. I would start Dak Prescott. I would start Zeke Elliott. I would start Amari Cooper. I would start Michael Gallup. I would start Blake Jarwin. I don't know if I would start CeeDee Lamb unless you're in a deeper league, just because, well, you know what? Screw it. Start CeeDee Lamb. Let's get wild. Let's get crazy. As far as the Rams players are concerned, I think I would start Jared Goff. If you're in a league where you have, not as much of a selection as far as quarterback is concerned, I'd definitely start Jared Goff. I would also start Cooper Kupp. I would start Robert Woods. I think they're going to have success. I think that, we have to remember, this is a Cowboys secondary that doesn't have a lot of talent, no disrespect intended. They're going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to take chances. And when you do that, sometimes you get beat. And Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods are receivers that can ultimately beat you. My score prediction for Cowboys-Rams on Sunday Night Football, well, I've got the Cowboys winning. Let's go 37-23. I like the way that sounds. 37-23. Cowboys get a big dub, and on Monday morning, we're all talking about how they are one of the best teams in the NFL, and everything is right as it should be. We hope you enjoyed the game, whatever your plans are, whatever you're cooking, whatever you're making. We want to know. You can hit me up. I'm RJ Ochoa. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa. You can also shoot me an email, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com, if that is more your speed. Football is back. We're so excited for everything we have in store this season on the Blog of the Boys YouTube channel. Subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. Enjoy all of the games and have the best day ever. You know why? Because you deserve it. We'll see you next time.